JIJI is corny.
So it's a rom-com. You see a tall guy who is most likely a sportsman because, duh, there's a ball on his backpack. If that wasn't enough, he is described as athletic by Okarun while he is looking up to him. That's an aggressive, low-angle shot. You're thinking exactly what Okarun is thinking. He's probably a proper guy. Look, I wasn't expecting him to be smooth or some type of Casanova because this is Dandadan. However, was it really necessary to make him so corny that I cringe every time I see this prick on screen? Also, I'm not gonna lie, this is the weakest episode in the series. It isn't a bad episode by any means. In fact, it's far from being bad, but it's definitely the weakest one. Feel free to debate me in the comments. JIJI's introduction is too much. He is yelling that Momo is cute, waving his arms around and doing these frankly fruity poses. If he said Momo Swan, I would have just died. I'm just glad that everybody in this room isn't impressed. Well, everybody in the room besides Granny Seiko, who we all know by now can't get enough of people complimenting her. No, Granny, he isn't a genius. Ira's assessment is probably the closest. This prick is a demon. I can't believe Okarun walks away sad at this point when this thing is his competition. The way he poses every time he says thank you gives me the ick. And I hate using that word. He's like one of those delusional girls who think they are stuck in a K-pop video, so every phrase they say is accompanied by a pose. The only useful information we got out of him is the first bit of his backstory. I'm assuming this is the first bit because I'm pretty sure they're going to reveal more information about what went on later on in the story. Basically, JIJI can see ghosts. JIJI and his family moved into the mountains. All seemed well until JIJI started feeling a weird presence all around the house. He tried to tell his parents, but they didn't listen to him. And who can blame them? I wouldn't have listened to him too. Just look at this guy. Eventually, the yokai became visible to JIJI, and from this point, his parents' health gradually went downhill. And his last hope was Granny Seiko.
Could help us.
Granny Seiko. However, Granny Seiko can't use her powers outside of Kamigomi City. I hope I'm saying that right. So it's up to Momo and the crew to deal with this situation. We cut to school, and this ninja JIJI moistly Michael Jackson thrust himself during his introduction to the class. And you know what these Gen Zers' reaction is to that? This school is fucking cooked. If anyone thinks posing like this and flailing their arms like this is attractive, they need their brains checked out. This isn't Rizz, this is anti-Rizz. This prick is moving his hips better than some stiff back girls I've been seeing dancing. Look at this. Pop, pop, pop. He's been taking lessons from Fraser Clark. Not you, Miko. I thought you were charming. You are my favorite out of all of the underlings in this show. Even when he does say something that can be considered cool, like we're living together, he ruins it with this gross pose. What is wrong with this dude? He literally can't stay still for a second. I didn't even write this in the script, but this is turning into the JIJI rant. And to be honest, I think I feel way more negative emotions towards JIJI's introduction than I ever did for Ira's introduction. We see Okarun process his love issues like every man should do. Do reps until the pain goes from your heart to your muscles. Then a wild Momo appears and offers to feed Okarun. A smile returns to my face because I'm thinking,
I kinda like this.
That lasted for 2 seconds. This flailing arms fucker shows up with snacks. It's at this point that Okarun gives up and the sad music starts to play. I started to feel sorry for our boy, you know? He doesn't know what he's doing and he doesn't understand things. At this point though, I knew something was off because we hadn't had the Dandadan tonal shift yet in this episode. So, a naked mannequin comes running towards Okarun. I can't believe I just said that. I'm so glad this happened, not only because it was funny and beautifully animated, but also because it distracted my attention away from JIJI. Well, at least until he saves Momo, whatever he was trying to do. Before you JIJI stans attack me, I get it, this was a good thing for him to do. He doesn't know yet that Momo has powers and she can take care of himself, so he was actually being brave, but I still think this guy is hella annoying. The best bit about this whole sequence is when the running man reassembles himself. Ah, so satisfying. I could replay this cut for hours. Momo deviously punches the running man's heart she grabbed earlier while he was reassembling himself, which allows the trio to find him. He is laid out on the floor in agony. While this running man situation looked and sounded super pleasing, I can't help but feel this whole sequence was just for Okarun to get the inspiration not to give up on Momo. Especially when the anatomy man is giving his speech and we cut away to Okarun and Momo. It's so overly dramatic, especially in the dub, so it got a laugh out of me. Final thoughts. I was wrong about Ira, which led me to dislike her when she was first introduced into the show. Now, I love Pinky. I really hope this is the case with JIJI because this whole video was like, I don't like the way you look, I don't like the way you dress, I don't like the way you talk. He seems like the kind of personality you'd find Twitch streaming brain rot to
energy drink addicted teenagers.
He says and does too much. Last time I mentioned how Friren's dynamic changed when Sign joined the crew. Joined the crew? This isn't One Piece. I mean, joined the gang. For me, he brought a much needed balance and harmony to the group. I believe that JIJI's role will be quite the opposite. He will add a bit of chaos and drama to this romance because let's face it, Ira is no threat at all. She's over there in Lululand trying to recruit allies and I love every second of it. Honestly, I've become a really big Ira fan in the last couple of episodes. It was a weird change. Ira still believes she's the star of her own Magical Girl series or something like that. Although it's still early days and we haven't seen him interact too much with Ira, I wonder if anything will happen there. At the end of the day, this dude is mega corny and he is no competition for our boy Okarun. It's all in his head and apparently super vividly in his head. This man storyboarded the entire honeymoon phase of their relationship. If you watch the whole video, be sure to write in the comments, JIJI is corny. And if you want extra content, like my reaction to episode 11 and episode 12, please be sure to check out my Patreon. This man is moving his hips better than some stiff back girls I've seen.